Just giving people a moment to filter in, and we'll get started very shortly. Okay, hello again. I'm delighted to welcome you to the DFCM's 2024 Awards and Celebration event. I'm Allison Merbaum, and I'm the Faculty Development Program Director in the DFCM. I'm also a community family doctor, and I've had the incredible privilege of practicing and teaching with North York General Hospital for the past 23 years. I would like to thank all of you for being here as we honor the outstanding accomplishments of our DFCM faculty, staff, and learners. This event is always a special occasion, offering us a moment to pause amid the busy back-to-school period and start of the new academic year to recognize the remarkable individuals within our department and to learn and be inspired by some of our most esteemed colleagues. Before we dive into the award recipients, I would like to acknowledge the lands on which we are lucky to live and work. The intent of the land acknowledgement is to share, to reflect, and to learn. And as I'm called upon to do this quite often, I try to learn something new that I'm curious about. Many of us were lucky enough to have had time off over the summer to travel and spend time with friends and family. Many of us were glued to our TV screens watching amazing athletes from around the world compete at the Summer Olympics in Paris. How proud we were as Canadians to have our very own Celine Dion making her singing comeback at the opening ceremonies. And as always, it was amazing to see the incredible athletes who devote their lives to their sport and to representing our country. I think about the opportunities that my own kids had during childhood, exploring various sports to find things they enjoy, living in an urban center with access to countless activities, not to mention the financial resources to participate. So as we find ourselves today on the traditional territory of many Indigenous nations, including the Huron-Wendat, the Seneca, and most recently the Mississaugas of the Credit, I thought it fitting to recognize the extraordinary achievements of Indigenous athletes who have represented Canada on the Olympic stage. These 5 athletes brought pride to their communities, inspired future generations of Indigenous youth, and inspired us all. Athletes like wrestler Justina DiStasio, swimmer Apollo Hess, diver Margot Erlam, volleyball player Finn McCarthy, and rugby player Shalaya Valenzuela showcased incredible skill, strength, and talent. Most of them have had to lead their communities to train and compete in their sport. The Canadian Olympic Foundation introduced new awards in 2022 to help support Indigenous athletes with the financial costs of training and competing, and to support initiatives that athletes are contributing to within their Indigenous communities. This also falls under the Truth and Reconciliation Commission's Calls to Action 87 to 91, which are devoted to equity and inclusion for Indigenous athletes and to provide opportunities for all Indigenous peoples to have access to sport and physical activity. This also includes the advancement of culturally relevant sport programming. For example, the promotion of lacrosse, which has been played for over 500 years by First Nations people across Canada. As we know, land acknowledgements are only a starting point for larger conversations. More concrete acts of restitution and transformation are needed to address underlying inequities and blatant discrimination in the distribution of resources between Canada's First Peoples and settlers, and recognition of the importance of equity in sports is one of many areas to reflect on. Now, I'm delighted to hand over to our co-hosts for the evening, Drs. Melanie Henry and Abbas Gavan Rasool.
Thank you so much, Allison. That was a lovely land acknowledgement. And I think we all recognize the role the community has to play, especially with the elite athletes and them supporting the people who come from their communities. So thank you very much. As you can see on the board here, we've got the agenda for this evening. And for those who don't know who I am Dr. Melanie Henry. I'm a family doctor at the Academic Family Medicine Teaching Unit in Markham at Oak Valley Health. And I'm also the Vice Chair Community Partnership. And I have the great pleasure to be hosting this event for the third year in a row, where we get to celebrate our wonderful colleagues and the accomplishments that you have all been able to achieve. And I'm going to hand it over to my co-host now.
I'm Abbas Gabram Rasool. I'm a family doctor at St. Michael's Hospital, and I started my career at the Faculty of Medicine as a medical student about 31 years ago. Time passes quickly. It's a great pleasure to be invited back to be a co-host to this wonderful event this year. As we go through the evening, we're going to ask you to show your appreciation and excitement and celebration, like share in the celebration of the evening by using the reactions buttons. And you should be able to find those near the bottom of your screen. So if you can go down there and find the reaction button and give us a thumbs up or a heart or a clap, that way we'll know things are working, and I can see a whole bunch of those appearing. That's fabulous. Before we launch into the awards themselves, I'm going to introduce our DFCM chair. Dr. Danielle Martin is a passionate advocate for family medicine and an amazingly positive leader. And it's been a great pleasure to work with her at the Central DFCM over the last few years. I'm going to pass it over to Danielle to say a few words.
Thanks so much, Abbas, and thank you and Melanie for hosting this wonderful event this evening. I love this event. It's such a beautiful opportunity to celebrate each other and to pause and recognize all of the hard work that we all do every day and don't always get a chance to honor. So my name's Danielle Martin. I'm a family doctor at Women's College Hospital. I've been in the DFCM since my residency, which I did at St. Mike's, and I have the honor of being chair of this wonderful department. I wanted to say a few quick words, most importantly, a very heartfelt and sincere congratulations to all of the award recipients who are here this evening, to all of our newly promoted faculty members. Without you, this department obviously would not be anywhere near the powerhouse that it is. Your excellence is what allows us to function and allows all of us as leaders to tout the incredible, not just the size, but the impact that this department has on our healthcare system, on our learners, and on the communities and the health of the communities that we work in. So congratulations and thank you for all of the contributions that you make, and to our new faculty, of which there are quite a few hopefully here this evening, welcome. You are joining this department at a very exciting time. We are expanding massively our education programs as the medical school expands, and we have the honor of bringing medical students and showing them the joy of family medicine. We're expanding our residency training, both at existing sites and at new sites across the province. We're engaging in a degree of community responsiveness and co-creation of our programs in a way that we've never done before. And we're building an incredible cohort of people who I believe will take back the wonders of family medicine over the coming years. And I had the opportunity to think about this recently because I had the honor of giving the convocation address to the MD class of 2024 in June, just before the summer hit. And looking out at all of those young people and remembering what it was like for all of us at the beginning of our careers at different stages and phases in the healthcare system, and reflecting on what did I want to say to these young people about the meaning of this career that we have the honor of having chosen. And I came back, as one does so often, to Ian McWhinney, one of the great, as I think of him, not just one of the great founders of academic family medicine, but also one of the great poets of our discipline, who really had a way with words. One of his my favorite quotes of his is the one in which he talks about the difference between the map and the territory. The map, which is the health system, the level at which we can string together patterns of diagnosis and disease and navigate systems for people. But the territory is the place where we walk with our patients. that no two paths or journeys are the same, even across the same map. And he says, and I quote, "We can get to know a territory by studying the map, which is made by abstracting certain features and ignoring others. The map helps us to find our way. But knowing the territory from the map is not the same as knowing it by dwelling in it. We cannot experience the beauty or the terror of a landscape by reading the map." And to me, this is the core of our job as family doctors. And of course, what he was referring to is that capacity to read the map, that pattern of symptoms and observations, and to navigate systems with our patients, but also the incredible gift of walking each individual person's journey with them so that they feel seen and accompanied, walking through that territory together. And so for many of us, for many of our patients, we are the people who can help them to decipher what feels often like a pretty incomprehensible map, but also we benefit from each other in that journey. And one of the great things about this department is the way in which we offer one another support in good times and in bad, in this crazy healthcare system of ours that we are all working to improve. So with that in mind, I want to encourage you to think about who you could nominate for an award next year. Who are the colleagues who've helped you along that the territory of your own journey, and who help you to decipher the map of this career of family medicine? Who can you encourage to put their name forward for academic promotion? How can we each pay forward the incredible gifts that our mentors have given us by opening doors for the people coming behind us? It's not a small undertaking to apply for academic promotion, as we all know. In fact, it's a really enormous one, but it is an incredibly important one. And those of you here tonight who have achieved this tremendous milestone, I hope you feel honored and celebrated by your department and your colleagues, and that you will find ways to do that for others as well. So congratulations once again. Thank you to all of you for being here this evening. Thank you to all those who put in a nomination this year to celebrate a colleague, to our speakers and our co-hosts, and of course to Dr. Alison Mirbaum and the organizing team. Melanie and Abbas, back to you.
Thanks so much, Danielle. When I think about the idea of the navigating all of the different landscapes, I think of not only of our patients themselves, but also of our learners and the journeys we get to walk with them as well. And as researchers and the work that we do in Q&I and the awards that we're going to see as well, the way that which we translate the system to go back to the system from a policy and from a research perspective to bring evidence to the work that we do. So that's fantastic. First up, we have the DFCM Program Awards, and our acting vice chair of Education and Scholarship, Dr. Stu Murdoch, is going to get us started. It's over to you, Stu.
Great, thank you, Melanie. Welcome, everybody. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Stu Murdoch. I'm a family doctor at the Barrie site, and I'm currently the acting vice chair of education, standing in for Dr. Risa Freeman, who is on a well-deserved academic sabbatical. And I have the privilege to introduce the DFCM Program Awards. These awards recognize faculty, staff, and learners within DFCM's individual programs for their excellence in teaching, collaboration, mentorship, clinical excellence, research, and leadership. These awards relate to the period of June 2023 to June 2024 and celebrate the recipients' contributions to their patients, communities, and our department as a whole. I'd like to thank everyone who submitted a nomination, as well as the faculty and staff who processed these nominations and made tonight's event possible. And of course, congratulations to all of our deserving award winners. We'll start off the program awards with Dr. Ozzy Movani and her undergrad awards, and end with a video message from Dr. Megan Landis, our emergency medicine division head, who isn't able to join us this evening. Ozzy, over to you.
Hi, good evening. My name is Ozzy Mulvaney, and I'm a family physician at the Toronto Western Hospital, and I'm the undergrad director for the department. The undergraduate awards are awarded by and nominated 99% by our medical students who put forward nominations. The committee is made up of students, residents, and faculty, and is chaired by Dr. Melissa Newtek, and our administrator, Thanusha. So what you will see on the screen is a number of awards for in excellence in advocacy, excellence in mentorship, excellence in program coordination, role modeling, clinical excellence. Our new teachers are also recognized here. And we also have specific awards for our new FMLE and elective teachers. The best part of getting awards is getting the little blurbs that our students send in about these teachers and getting to send them back. So we send the blurbs that the medical students send in as showing why they want to nominate this faculty member, and we send it back to them so that they can read it. And this is what truly closes that circle of why we get people coming back to teach our medical students every year. So I would just want to congratulate everyone. This is an amazing group of people. I want to tell you that every year people are nominated again and again, and we push those people up to the DFCM Awards of Excellence and try to make it so that we have far-reaching representation across geographic areas and also in terms of levels of years of teaching, from the very first year to being out for 30 more plus 50 years of teaching. We have award nominees and winners. Congratulations to all the award winners, and I look forward to working with you in the future.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Betty Redland. I'm a family doctor at Women's College Hospital, and I'm the acting postgraduate program director for the DFCM. And I'm delighted to be here tonight to celebrate and congratulate the many very deserving award winners in the postgraduate program. The awards in our program are spread across faculty, program administrators and other support staff, and learners. And the resident winners are from both the core program and our enhanced skills program. Moreover, the awards cover a multitude of areas, including clinical excellence, teaching excellence, leadership, and scholarship. And we have award winners from across our 15 sites, as well as our teaching practices program. We are so grateful to all of our faculty who clearly go the extra mile in their teaching, newer teachers and more experienced faculty alike, specifically nominated by the residents whom they teach to be recognized for their efforts. Common words used to describe our award-winning teachers included kindness, support, compassion, curiosity, approachability, and enthusiasm. Probably the key ingredients to foster a learning environment in which our learners can and do thrive. For our faculty who have won for their educational innovations, we as a program are tremendously grateful for it is your creativity and hard work that allows our curriculum to grow and be responsive to current needs. Amongst our support staff, we have 2 winners in the areas of resident advocacy, both of whose nominations talk about how they go above and beyond in their dedication to ensuring an excellent resident experience. Amongst our resident winners, we truly celebrate the many exemplary clinicians and leaders who we confidently know will be excellent additions to our community of family physicians and give tremendous hope for the future of our very precious discipline of family medicine. It is them we truly celebrate today. Of our resident winners, I want to specifically highlight Maria Lease, one of our graduates from Michael Garron Hospital, who was just awarded the CFPC Val Rackless Leadership in Family Medicine Award. This prestigious award is essentially the highest national honor for senior family medicine residents, acknowledging excellence in leadership, academic, research, and communication skills. It is extremely exciting that the University of Toronto candidate was chosen for this award this year. Congratulations, Maria, on this very significant and well-deserved award, and congratulations to all the award winners. We are so proud of all of you and grateful for your contributions to our program.
Thank you, Batia. Congratulations to all of the award winners so far. I'm Melissa Graham. I'm a family physician at the Credit Valley site and the Associate Program Director for the Academic Fellowship and Graduate Studies program. Our program has been around for over 30 years now, and we continue to work through our master's programs and certificate programs to advance careers within the department. These programs would not be possible without the dedication of our team, and so I'd like to thank Christy Billings and Nancy Jacob tonight, who make the work possible, as well as the leadership of Dr. Abbas Gavin Rasool. Tonight we get to recognize 3 of our students and teachers. First is Dr. Parisa Arya, who is a a teacher in our survey methods course who goes above and beyond for her students each and every class. Next is Dr. Sheila Dunn from Women's College. She has been a longstanding instructor in our program, teaching research methods, and this year served within our practicum program, really escalating our students' research endeavors. And finally, we'd like to recognize Dr. Karina Prucknall. You will know Karina as the Associate Program Director in the postgraduate program. She is the recipient of the DFCM's 50th anniversary Dr. Lynn Wilson Award for her academic excellence during her time with us in graduate studies.
So hi, everyone. I'm presenting the Faculty Development Program Awards as well. So in the Faculty Development Program, we adjudicate both our Faculty Development Program Awards as well as our very popular FD Fund and the FD Educational Initiative Grant. Thank you to Danielle Dudica, our FD Program Administrator, and especially to Megan Chow, our Awards, Mentorship, and Wellness Administrator, who worked incredibly hard over the past few months to bring this event to fruition. Some specific highlights I wanted to note. The Alana Frick Family Medicine Award for Leadership and Advocacy recognizes an outstanding DFCM faculty member or team who pursues a relevant knowledge mobilization project related to mental health and/or intimate partner violence in family medicine. This year, our award winners are Dr. Sarah Fleming and Dr. Sae Fukamizu, who fostered a praiseworthy community partnership between the Toronto Western Family Health Team and the YWCA Arise Shelter for women and children seeking refuge from intimate partner violence. This started with a proposal from Dr. Fleming to provide primary care to this community through monthly home visits at the shelter, providing well child care, reproductive health care, and assessments of health concerns until they could be reconnected with their primary care providers. They have delivered high-quality medical care to these vulnerable families, maintaining trust, safety, and dignity throughout, and also have provided opportunities for medical residents to engage in their work at the shelter, thereby enriching their learning experience. Dr. Art Kushner, former chair of Humber River Health Family Medicine, was chosen for the Continuing Education Impact Award for his contribution as chair of the Pri-Med Planning Committee for the past 10 years. This conference, initially established in partnership with the DFCM and formerly known as Primary Care Today, just last year had nearly 3,200 participants. On the next slide, a special congratulations to Dr. Ann Weidman, who has recently stepped down from her role as the longtime postgrad site director at Sunnybrook and who is the recipient of the Mentorship Award. And then our very own inaugural faculty wellness lead, Dr. Navshir Gill, who was chosen for the award for community-based contributor to faculty development. So congratulations to all of our award winners, and I'll pass it over to Prasida.
Thank you, Allison. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Prasida Janakram, and I'm the Program Director for Global Health Education based out of Women's College Hospital at the Crossroads Refugee Clinic. And I have the pleasure of announcing the Global Health Awards for this year. I'm going to ask for the next slide and take a special moment to acknowledge the remarkable work of our Global Health Administrator, Jamie Rodas. For all the work that you're about to hear about here, we know that none of that is possible without the remarkable and stoic, endless commitment of our staff at the DFCM. So with no further ado, the Yves Tabot Award for Excellence in Global Health Leadership goes to Dr. Leila Makani. Dr. Leila Makani, based out of Women's College Hospital, has not only exhibited a remarkable range of leadership skill, both in the sphere of caring for newcomers as well as inner city health in her education and teaching roles, but she has also led the PGY3 Enhanced Skills Program in Global Health and Vulnerable Populations after being an alumni of that program herself. She is also the Associate Faculty Lead for the Toronto Addis Ababa Academic Collaboration in Family Medicine, where she continues to generously give her time and her energy to cultivating our partnership and collaboration. The faculty awards for excellence in global health this year go to 5 remarkable leaders across the DFCM: Dr. Kimberly D'Souza, Dr. Kirsten Wentland, Dr. Noor Khatib, Dr. Margarita Lam-Antoniadis, and Dr. Ian Drennan. Each of these 5 leaders over the last year has stepped up to the remarkable task of collaborating with the Africa Higher Education Collaborative, and they have developed courses that have been short course programming with multiple offerings in the areas of emergency preparedness, in the areas of palliative care, in the areas of community emergency care, as well as quality improvement for health professionals. So a range of remarkable skill that continues to grow as the collaborative and the partnership work continues into 2025. And with that, I'll hand over to Dr. Selby.
Peter, I'm just going to ask that you unmute yourself. I think you're on mute.
I'm still on mute, yeah, across 2 screens. So first of all, thank you so much, Priscilla. I'm Peter. Really a pleasure to present these 3 research awards. If we can go to the next slide. There are, oh, do I advance? Okay, there it is. There they are. So we have 3 first, second, and third place, but this was selected by committee. Outstanding peer-reviewed publications. We have 3 of them, and clearly the first one by the team out from St. Mike's, the increasing treatment rates of hepatitis C in primary care, which is really a great paper for everyone to see how doing ordinary things extraordinarily well increases the treatment of people. And so if we want to think about what scholarship and research does, it really helps us do a better job in treating people. And you can see in this that they were able to improve their identification and treatment of people with hep C from 66% of baseline to 75%. And of those who got treated, they had a 92.5% sustained viral response, which is really amazing to be able to do something in family medicine like this. And then the next step for them, I hope, is to scale it up across our department and beyond. The second place is also another important paper by NAV, and that talks about preventive care recommendations to promote health equity and really speaks to some of the disadvantage in preventive care that occurs to people with disadvantage and what we can do, whether it is colorectal screening or breast cancer screening or others. And then the last one, of course, is also from the St. Mike's group with Brendan, who's moved on, unfortunately for us, but we are really happy for him, but this paper on the breast cancer screening among females with and without schizophrenia. And that is really an important piece to look at how this diagnostic overshadowing can us in primary care can prevent us from taking care of people with mental health issues and not pay attention to their physical health needs. And this occurs with breast cancer, diabetes. So congratulations to all 3 members of our, all 3 papers and the winners, and many papers in the highlight, all the members of our department. And I'm really proud to be and humbled to be the vice chair research of such an outstanding group of researchers in our department. And with that, I'm going to pass it on to my colleague, Dr. Noah Ivers, who's going to talk about the Quality and Innovation Awards.
Great, thank you. Slide. There we are. Everyone, for those who don't know me, I'm Noah Ivers. I'm one of the family docs at Women's College Hospital. I want to start by expressing my utmost gratitude to those who have so ably done the real work to run the various aspects of our quality and innovation program at the DFCM. It's truly a model worldwide. We have so many exciting projects and a growing team that's really been led by the vision of Tara Kieran, and I'm just stepping in as she's off on sabbatical. And it's really supported amazingly well by Noor Ramji and a cohort of just amazing quality leads from across all of our sites, really all around the GTA. And I think I want to just emphasize that the program includes really amazing primary care quality innovation work that affects care locally, provincially, nationally, and also internationally. And I think it really is through quality and innovation work that we support each other to be the best primary care clinicians and the best primary care clinics that we can be. And I think it's worth sort of noting that I, for one, have always been inspired by the idea that if we can sort of help not just ourselves in our own practice, but all the other doctors around us through our quality innovation work, then the idea is that maybe our positive impact can, on patients and populations can grow exponentially. But of course, we can't just ask ourselves or our colleagues to work harder. We really have to find ways to work smarter. And that's the hallmark of some of these great quality innovation projects that are highlighted on the slides. The 88, count them, 88 individuals who have won well-deserved awards from the Quality Innovation Program really do exemplify work that fits with that kind of vision. And I'd like to say that, actually there were probably many, many, many more names that we should have added, but they capped us at that. And I think you'll see on the screen that awardees include residents, faculty, and also, crucially, additional team members, not just family docs who are in our clinics. Because, in quality improvement work, it really is true that the teamwork is what makes the dream work, as corny as that is. And so I think as we all work together in primary care to constantly improve how we care for our patients, I think it's through that work that we find ways to feel proud of what we're doing as great family physicians and as leaders in doing great primary care. So please let me offer a heartfelt mazel tov to all of you mentioned on the slides here. Thank you again to all those who are involved in quality innovation work in our department. And a special, of course, congratulations to the award winners. But to all of you, whether mentioned on the slides or not, please do stay involved in quality innovation work. Consider checking out our website, which is evolving, the quality innovation page on the DFCM website. Learn about what we're doing, see how you can get or stay involved. We do have some amazing, amazing projects coming forward that we hope you'll get involved in. So congrats again, and onwards.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Peter Zakis, family doctor from Michael Garron Hospital and the program director for the Physician Assistant Program. I'm happy to highlight our winners tonight. For those of you who don't know, the Physician Assistant Department is a small undergraduate program that started within our own DFCM in 2007, primarily run initially by family doctors and a few USPAs. Initially, we were one of 3 small programs in Canada, and we at UFT DFCM have expanded from 14 students in year 1 and moving now to have a student body of 120 students in our 2-year program at one time. We thank our program faculty, our admin support, students, and the DFCM leaders who have supported us in our growing. As you can see on the screen, tonight we recognize our students who stand out in their academic or clinical performance, their leadership or mentorship. We also recognize our faculty who are recognized for their exceptional teaching and leadership, and most of them being our own previous graduates, which is phenomenal to see them taking over the education of the profession alongside our DFCM members to help support physicians in their day-to-day practice. Congratulations to all our winners. And we will now be switching things up to a video from the Emergency Medicine Awards by Dr. Megan Landis.
Good evening, everyone. It is my pleasure to be here to present the Emergency Medicine Awards from the Division of Emergency Medicine here at the DFCM. My name is Megan Landis, and I'm the head of the Division of Emergency Medicine. To begin, congratulations to Dr. Anton Hellman for winning the Eric Letofsky Award for Excellence in Emergency Medicine. This award recognizes an individual who has demonstrated sustained excellence in clinical practice, teaching, and scholarship within our division. And Dr. Hellman is a true leader and innovator in emergency medicine education. His free open access emergency medicine podcasts, EM Cases, has reached over 160 countries with millions of downloads, changing practice on a daily basis. His work through emergency medicine cases reflects his passion for teaching, learning, and his desire to instill critical thinking skills in lifelong learners. Congratulations, Anton. Our second award goes to Dr. Rajani Varavanathan for winning the Excellence in Teaching and Education in Emergency Medicine Award. It's challenging to fully convey the genuine positivity and passion she brings to her work and the deep commitment she shows in sharing her invaluable clinical and personal experiences with her learners. For nearly 2 decades, she has devoted herself to teaching and education, excelling in various roles. She's an exceptional clinician, teacher, and mentor, and deeply admired by both her students and her colleagues. Congratulations, Rajani. And finally, congratulations to Dr. Tessa Ringer on winning the Excellence in Teaching in Emergency Medicine Early Career Award. In just the first 5 years of her career, Dr. Ringer has rapidly built a strong reputation on local, national, and international levels for her contributions to the care of older adults in emergency medicine. She has emerged as a leader in geriatric emergency medicine, consistently demonstrating exceptional dedication to teaching and education. Congratulations, Tessa.
And that will be concluding our program awards. Thank you to all of our program directors and vice chairs for the work that they've done. And a big congratulations to everybody, all the award winners today. You really are the folks who make the programs run and make the department what it is and the fabulous place that it is to work. So thank you. I'm going to pass it over to Alison Merbaum for the DFCM Awards of Excellence presentations.
I'm back again, and next year, hopefully, I'll share the wealth with an awards, grants, and funds lead to help share the presentation of some of these awards. But it's now my privilege to introduce the DFCM Awards of Excellence. These awards recognize sustained dedication, excellence, and contributions to our department in areas such as teaching, research, leadership, program and course development, scholarship, social responsibility, quality improvement, and collaboration. We have 2 Award of Excellence recipients giving remarks this evening, and I'm delighted to introduce the first, Dr. Amit Arya, who's receiving the Award for Excellence in Creative Professional Activity. Dr. Arya is one of Canada's foremost physician leaders for improving quality of care and health outcomes for seniors living in long-term care. Recently, he has envisioned, created, and implemented an innovative interprofessional program to provide specialist palliative care consultation and follow-up in long-term care, thereby reducing the probability of emergency department visits and hospital admissions for seniors approaching end of life who would prefer to spend their final days with loved ones in their own residences. Amit, congratulations and welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Merbaum, for that very kind introduction. I'm so honored to receive this Award of Excellence in Creative Professional Activity for my work as the medical lead of a new program to support long-term care homes in the North York area. And today I'll briefly share with all of you how this program began and where we are now. Next slide, please. So our program, the North York Congregate Access and Support Team, or NYCAST, actually just started last summer with a collaborative vision aiming to bring important healthcare sectors together. And last July, we brought together representatives from long-term care homes, hospital departments like emergency, general internal medicine, DI, senior leadership at North York General Hospital, Ontario Health at Home, and family caregiver representatives. And we talked together about our shared priorities. Currently, our program is focusing on long-term care homes, but in the future, we also hope to expand to group homes, shelters, and retirement homes to provide more support in place for residents, care partners, and staff. Next slide, please. So here's a map showing the 8 long-term care homes we support in the North York region with over 1,500 beds. And this can give you a sense of the scale and the communities we serve. Next slide. So this slide tells you a little bit about the growth and the structure of our program that we've created in a year. So essentially, we offer a single phone number through the scope line where any healthcare provider in long-term care can call to access a range of services, including a nurse navigator, Our nurse-led outreach team also consists of 4 advanced practice nurses, specifically 2 clinical nurse specialists and 2 nurse practitioners who assist with complex cases and help to build capacity in long-term care homes. And with respect to palliative care consults in long-term care, this actually started last August in the first week with me driving out to a long-term care home once a week to see the first resident who was referred. And now we've quickly grown to a 5-day-a-week program where we have 2 additional palliative care physicians working with me and have now received over 100 unique referrals. We also have funding from Ontario Health to support 2 clinical coaches whose sole role is to train long-term care staff in primary palliative care. Our team holds monthly collaborative meetings where we bring together hospital partners, NYCAST and long-term care home representatives to talk about our shared priorities, how we can solve issues together. And I wanted to point out that medical learners, including family medicine residents at North York and palliative care fellows, are also starting to work with us more regularly. For many of them, it is actually their very first experience working in long-term care. Next slide. So on this slide, we have some initial outcomes data, and it really highlights the impact of providing more palliative care in long-term care. Long-term care represents a medically complex population of frail older adults. And for almost everyone, long-term care is their last home prior to death with an average stay of 18 months. Yet 81% of residents, as per CIHI, have no documented evidence of palliative care in their last year of life. So our outcomes shown on the screen in front of you demonstrate that we're making a difference with de-escalation in documented advanced care plans and reduced acute care utilization. We're also committed to continuing to evaluate our program through quality improvement and research. Next slide. So working in the community, specifically in long-term care, has been incredibly rewarding. Our team has actually been invited to train long-term care physicians and nurse practitioners on how to have serious illness conversations. We presented at multiple conferences already about our program, like Hospice and Palliative Care Ontario, Advantage Ontario, and Advanced Learning in Palliative Medicine. Next week, we're going to present at the North American Conference on Integrated Care in Calgary, followed by the Ontario Long-Term Care Clinicians Conference later on in October, right here in Toronto. And this journey so far has been about teamwork, dedication, and a shared vision. We've built relationships of trust and brought people together and brought sectors together in order to improve care. Next slide. So finally, I would like to thank some very important people. First of all, Dr. Sandy Buckman, who is a professor of family medicine at the DFCM, past president of the CMA, and the Freeman Chair for the Advancement of Palliative Care at North York General Hospital. His leadership actually brought me to North York General Hospital to start this program, and his ongoing support and mentorship has been invaluable. I also want to thank Zara Ismail, who is the program director of NYCAST, for her vision and incredible dedication to this program, all of my NYCAST team members, and the incredible staff who we see on a daily basis working so hard in long-term care. And of course, many thanks to all of you from the Department of Family and Community Medicine for this award. I'll just leave you with some final thoughts. The work that we do in long-term care is very, very important, and it's more than just about providing care. It's about building relationships, fostering trust, and ensuring that every resident living in long-term care has the opportunity to live with dignity through to the end of life. And together, we are going to change what is possible in long-term care. Thank you.
Thank you, Amit. That was so interesting. You know, I practice in the North York area, and this concept is newer to me as well, but I think we would all agree this type of innovative spirit could certainly be generalized to all of the patients that we serve and in all the various communities within the DFCM. So I look forward to seeing how far this can go. And congratulations once again in terms of your award. As I mentioned, the Awards of Excellence recognize sustained dedication, excellence, and contributions to our department. We're fortunate to have such an incredible wealth of expertise, passion, and excellence amongst our faculty and staff. It's wonderful to see a mix of both familiar names and emerging talent from our central office and hospital and community sites on this year's list. As you may know, we have separate categories for physician faculty at fully affiliated and community affiliated sites, as well as community-based physicians, health professional educators at fully affiliated and community affiliated sites, and both site-based staff and staff from our central DFCM office. To everyone featured on these slides, congratulations. And if you've received an award this year or in the past, I encourage you to consider passing it on and nominating a deserving colleague next year. I'll pause for a moment while we see all these amazing award winners. And once again, congratulations to all the award recipients, and a big thank you to our Central Awards Committee who review and carefully consider every single nomination. The committee members for this past year are on screen, and a special thanks to Maddie Morasudi and Megan Chow who have helped support the awards committee. Now it is my great pleasure to introduce the most prestigious of our DFCM Awards of Excellence, our Academic Family Physician of the Year. This award recognizes one individual in the department, someone who has been in academic family medicine for 10 years or more, who has demonstrated a sustained contribution to clinical practice, teaching, and scholarship. This year, I'm delighted to introduce Dr. June Carroll as our 2024 Academic Family Physician of the Year. Dr. Carroll is a family physician at Mount Sinai Hospital. She holds the Sidney G. Frankfurt Chair in Family Medicine and is a professor and clinician scientist in the DFCM. Dr. Carroll's academic focus is the integration of genomic medicine into primary care. She is the co-founding director of GECO, Genetics Education Canada Knowledge Organization, which aims to educate non-genetics health professionals in genomic medicine. She is the provincial primary care lead in genetics, the chair of the primary care reference table of the Ontario Provincial Genetics Program, and a member of the Ontario Genetics Advisory Committee, to name just a few of her leadership roles. This award is a testament to her decades of exemplary clinical work and leadership. She is a stellar mentor, an accomplished researcher with international recognition, and she exemplifies excellence in all areas. June, congratulations and welcome.
Thank you so much, Allison, for that lovely introduction, and congratulations to all of the award winners. I'd really like to take this opportunity to thank everyone who nominated me, thank the awards committee and the DFCM for this award. I am really truly humbled to be recognized by my peers with this award. It means a lot to me. I've been asked to give a few comments about my journey as an academic physician, so if you'll bear with me, I will do that. Maybe I could have the first slide, please. So my thoughts on my journey as an academic family physician. I'm going to talk about really 4 spheres of my academic pursuits, many of which are common to all of you: clinical practice, research, teaching and education, and health policy. But the most important aspect of this graphic is really the overlap between all of these academic areas. You'll hear through my talk how much they all inform each other and how much they're really bound together. And I think that's something really important to think about in our academic careers. I also have the theme of mentorship, which really runs through my entire academic journey, and I'll be speaking to that a little bit as well. Next slide, please. So I began my clinical practice after my family medicine residency here in Toronto at North York General and Women's College in Sioux Lookout. It was challenging practice. I worked with many Indigenous communities, and it's really in Sioux Lookout that I consolidated my skills as a family physician. I learned from my patients the importance that community meant to them, and I learned the importance of being patient-centered. And I have to say that I wish that I knew then what I knew now about what many of my patients had been experiencing in their lives, as I think I could have been a much better family physician for them. After I left Sioux Lookout, I moved to Sinai, and I've been there ever since. This is an early picture of some of the people at the Sinai Family Medicine Center. But what's important about Sinai is there I was able to practice full scope family medicine, including pregnancy and interpartum care, which I practiced for 25 years. And the important thing here is how much practice led to my research questions and my research career. It was really foundational, the work I was doing in practice, that was leading to those research questions. So the next slide, please. So as I mentioned about doing prenatal care, I was realizing that a lot of our patients, our prenatal patients, were experiencing psychosocial distress. And with a team, we developed the first evidence-based tool to assess antenatal psychosocial health during pregnancy. And the key elements of this alpha form, which many of you may know of, are still part of the Ontario Antenatal Record. From there, I still had a number of questions that were related to prenatal care, and I moved into prenatal genetic screening. And then from there into the work that I've been doing over the last many years, which, as you heard from Allison, is the integration of genetic and genomic medicine into primary care. All the questions that I've been pursuing have really come from practice. It's important also to note that I led many of these projects, but I was also a co-investigator on many of them. And I can't stress how important it is to get involved as a co-investigator. Partly, in my case, to bring the voice of family medicine to many research projects, because I'm often on projects that are all geneticists or health policy people, and it's so important to bring the voice of family medicine. Next slide, please. So I want to speak for a minute about teaching and education. During my research in genetics, I certainly discovered, and it's not surprising, that there's a real lack of knowledge about genetics among family physicians. So a lot of my research moved into the areas of health policy, or sorry, not health policy, of knowledge transfer and health services research. And I want to just highlight one effort that I moved into in the area of teaching and education. So we could have the next slide. So to try to address some of this knowledge lack that we were seeing, we developed Genetics Education Canada Knowledge Organization, which we call affectionately GECO. Some of you may not have heard of GECO. It's geneticseducation.ca is the website. And this is a website that offers point of care tools for primary care providers and family physicians to help answer your questions about genetics. Should you do genetic testing in autism? What's the value? Should you order hemochromatosis testing? What about factor V Leiden? What about hereditary cancer? All those kind of things. But to fit with the overlap of the circles that I was talking about, all of these education projects are modeled after the research that our team did, showing how family physicians wanted to access information about genetics. So our point of care tools all have a bottom line at the top. We stress the clinical utility and relevance to family medicine and interventions that would make a difference. So check it out. You may find that there's tools that you could really use in practice. Next slide, please. Just to speak about health policy for a moment. Next slide, please. It's quite possible that my work in health policy has actually had more impact than my research publications. I mean, we never know who's reading our research publications, but in health policy, I really felt that my contributions may have made a difference. Again, I'm often the sole family physician on these committees and really able to offer that family medicine perspective, which I think is so important. And back to the kind of circles I was talking about earlier, the provincial genetics program has realized that we have educational needs in genetics, and they've now looked to partner with GECO to introduce education in genetics, not just to primary care providers, but to other clinicians. It also highlights the advantage of having a focus in your academic work. I realize that we're all generalists, but if you have some focus, you're often able to bring all these areas of your academic work together, as I feel I have. Next slide, please. I mentioned that I was going to talk about mentoring as really a theme that's gone through all of my work. As many of you will know, mentorship has been reported to have an important influence on personal development, career choice, and research productivity. And it's been suggested that it may even reduce burnout. I really can't emphasize how important mentoring has been through my life, both informal and formal mentoring. I've sought out different mentors through different phases of my life. I've had mentors, geneticists who've taught me a lot about genetics, and many of you here have mentored me in my research career, and I thank you. I thought I would focus for this talk just on the family medicine chiefs at Mount Sinai and kind of what they offered me in their mentoring. Some of you may remember Yves Talbot. Yves was a real ideas man. You couldn't go into his office without coming out with many questions that you could consider for research. Warren Rubenstein was instrumental in helping me get my first grant and in establishing the Sidney Frankfurt Chair, which opened many doors for me. David Tannenbaum knew the importance of protected time and was able to get that for me and encouraged me to really take the leap to become a clinician scientist and spend more time on research. And Aaron Gerst, my current chief, knows the value of mentoring and health policy and is supporting me in that. And you can also see that at Sinai, we like desserts and we like to party. Next slide, please. I also want to comment on how much I enjoy mentoring my colleagues, learners, graduate students. I think it's really given me a sense of personal satisfaction to help them around research, around career choices, and around life choices. This is the group at Sinai. There's only one person in this picture that's slightly older than I am, and I'm really inspired by all of them. Being an academic family physician, there's a lot of time that I'm not in the clinic, and this group have supported me through my entire academic career, always willing to pick up the pieces, see my patients, and I want to send really sincere thanks to all of them for their support through the years. And lastly, I would like to thank my family. It's really, this is always the part that you choke up when you talk about your family, but I have an amazing family who have really supported my academic career for many, many years. And I can't thank them enough. I have 3 grandchildren who are just a joy, need I say any more. Many of you will know my husband, Dr. David White. His love and support have meant so much to me and just contributed enormously to my success. And I thank him so much and love him dearly. You probably also know that David brings a lot of music to my life, and I can also tell you that he is a mean editor, so he's someone I always turn to. So I'd like to finish by just, again, thanking the department. I also have to say that it's such a privilege to be a member of a university that has 13 Nobel Prize winners, one announced today, and one who's actually a member of the DFCM. So thank you very much, and that ends my remarks.
Thank you so much, June. That was a lovely presentation, and it's an award that's truly well deserved, and really appreciate all you had to share. I was particularly struck by the overlapping circles, and I think we can all relate to the joy that it brings us to be able to bring those things together, and also sometimes the challenges of working and the tensions that involve working in all the different spheres that we manage to cobble together to make up our careers. I'm going to now pass things over to Dr. Stu Murdoch again to present the external awards.
Thank you, Melanie. It's a pleasure to introduce our external awards and celebrate the achievements of our DFCM colleagues who have been recognized with honors from various organizations. These awards highlight the exceptional work of individuals who have made an impact beyond our department in clinical care, academics, education, research, advocacy, mentorship, and leadership across the breadth of family medicine. The recipients range from well-known established leaders in family medicine to those beginning their careers, including residents. Looking at these slides, it's clear how extensive our department's influence is. We have a wide representation of faculty, staff, and learners, as well as a diverse array of awards from local institutions, many of our affiliated hospitals, provincial and national organizations, such as the OCFP and CFPC, Ontario Health, and international bodies. All these awards are great achievements, but there are a couple I'd like to highlight in particular. Melissa Newtek, Canadian Association for Medical Education Certificate of Merit, an award intended to reward faculty committed to medical education in Canadian medical schools. Peter Selby, Canadian Society of Addiction Medicine Lifetime Achievement Award for his contributions to the field of addiction medicine in Canada as a leader, researcher, clinician, and educator. David White, CFPC's Donald Rice Award, which recognizes an outstanding CFPC family physician who has contributed to teaching, vision, and leadership in the discipline of family medicine. And Berenger, CFPC's Victor Johnson Award, which recognizes a renowned Canadian or international family medicine leader for continuous and enduring contributions. Congratulations to all our award winners. For those honored, thank you for dedication and contributions over the past year.
Thank you, Stu, and congratulations again to everybody who was recognized with an external award. Those are really amazing. Gives me great pleasure now to introduce Dr. Debbie Allman. Debbie is the chair of our departmental awards committee, and she'll be introducing new faculty appointments and junior promotion recipients. Debbie.
Thank you, Abbas. Hello, everybody. I want to first and foremost congratulate all of the award recipients today. It really is amazing to see the breadth of work that we do in this department. I am not going to be reading all of these names. You'll all be pleased to hear, but I will tell you a little bit about DAC at DFCM. Over the last year, we have expanded the committee membership. We've grown quite a bit. We're working hard to make sure that the committee membership represents the DFCM as a whole. So we have members from fully affiliated, community affiliated hospitals. We have members who have no hospital affiliation at all and are working in the community. We actually have a new pharmacist member, so we're very excited about that. We have members from the different divisions. So we're really working hard to make sure that the DAC membership represents the DFCM faculty as well as we can. I'm looking at this list and I am overwhelmed because I know that we reviewed each and every single one of those dossiers. So a big thank you to our DAC membership who work hard to do all this. Also, you should know that we've been working to streamline the appointments process to make it a little bit easier, more effective, and more efficient for both the people who are applying, for the people who are supporting the application, for the DAC membership, and probably very much so for the DAC admin support, without whom we would all be sunk, quite frankly. I'm assuming there are some slides on junior promotion. I'm not sure where we're at. Well, we're up to the Z, so I think we're at junior promotions. There are many of those as well, not as many as new faculty appointments though. And so again, a big thank you to the DAC committee who have reviewed in great detail and great depth all of these dossiers, which really do come with a lot of important information in them. I know that our chair at the beginning of the evening mentioned that it's a bit of a to do a junior promotion. And so we'd like to reassure everybody that we are actually looking at this at both the faculty and the departmental level in order to streamline and make everything very transparent and consistent across the departments. And so we hope that we will have some really good outcomes so that more people can move ahead with junior promotion without too much difficulty. So again, thank you to everybody, to all of our new faculty. Welcome to the DFCM. I hope that you're here and you can see the great work that we do. And congratulations to all of our junior promotions from the last year.
Thank you so much, Debbie. Congratulations to all our junior promotion recipients, as well as welcome to all of the new faculty, as Debbie had said. Last, but definitely not least, we have our senior promotions. And I'd just like to take a moment. Our senior promotions typically we have done as a video over the last couple of years. And Olivia and Neil has put in a lot of work to get this video together. So just thanks to her. So this year we are celebrating 9 of the DFCM faculty members, 7 who have been promoted to associate professor and 2 have been promoted to full professor. And this is just an absolutely phenomenal achievement for every single one of you. It acknowledges years, if not decades, of contribution to the academic environment. And these colleagues have clearly demonstrated excellence in teaching, research, and professional activities. I myself am very inspired by their commitment and their dedication. And I really look forward to this portion of the award ceremony every year as we listen to their reflections on their personal experiences, and it's truly inspiring to see. Senior promotions, if you think junior promotions is a daunting task, senior promotions definitely can be as well. But if you ask the recipients, and as we probably hear from them as well, it's hugely rewarding, and it's made possible by a dedicated committee of faculty members and administrators whose names will be shown on the screen, and the committee is chaired by Dr. Jeff Kwong. So now it is my sincere pleasure to, oh yeah, here we go. Here's the names of all of the committee members. So thank you to every single one of you for your work. It's my pleasure now to introduce the video from all of our senior promotion recipients.
My friend and colleague, Risa Boardman, gave me the big push. She actually told me not to overthink the reasons why, but just to do it. Senior faculty status gives recognition in the Faculty of Medicine for all the scholarly work you've done, which is especially important coming from a community-based site, where although a lot of academic work takes place, senior promotion is much less commonly pursued.
I think that at a personal level, I'm usually so focused on the next project that I don't take the time to kind of reassess what I've done. And so it was a good opportunity to step back, to reflect on the work I've done, to document and receive recognition for its impact, and then to look ahead to the next phase in my career.
So here we go. So senior promotion provided me an opportunity to thoughtfully reflect on my career as an academic family physician over the past decade, to share impactful scholarly work that I've led and collaborated on, and to be recognized at a high level by my peers.
What I hope it will enable me to have greater leadership responsibilities, mentor the next generation of clinicians in informatics, and continue my professional development, and hopefully have a broader impact on the healthcare system.
So for me, there were many reasons. I think I'm a family doctor at heart and with a focused practice in palliative medicine. And I think both primary care and palliative medicine often don't get kind of front and center recognition in the way that I think they deserve in our health system. And so that was one of the driving factors for pursuing senior promotion.
And I think the best part about my work is the colleagues. I really love the people I work with. And so that's what motivates me to keep doing the work that I do.
My motivation for all my work really is just always trying to provide the best patient care I can, whether that's for patients in my practice or patients in the community. And this really requires equipping the next generation of doctors with the tools they need.
I love to learn, and I find meaning when this can be connected to teaching others and to improving healthcare. And I chose an area of quality improvement where at least I would learn something if nothing else happened. But I really found purpose in how this can translate into broader changes and improvements in the healthcare system.
First and foremost, patients and families. I'm really privileged to meet people oftentimes at their most vulnerable moments and hear stories and hear life lessons. And I derive a lot of meaning from that, and it really keeps me grounded.
Teaching energizes me, and it never gets old. I always learn while teaching and sharing knowledge and experiences.
I find meaning and purpose in my work through the impact I have on my patients, colleagues, and especially my teams, as well through the long-term relationships and the impact we build together. Mentoring young professionals and students is particularly rewarding, especially when they later reach out to share how a piece of advice I offered has made a difference in their careers.
So what I find fulfilling is really dedicating myself to
inspiring research questions that are, I think, going to service an improvement in health for people.
Wanting to develop a scholarly field is a main source of meaning and purpose for my work. Also, the pleasure of working with other people, which most academic careers, certainly within medicine, tend to be collaborative. And purpose in the work of a physician of any kind, I think, comes principally from providing one-on-one care to our patients.
The people, the family docs and the emerge docs at Sinai are superstars, like every single one of them. And so it's the positive kind of peer pressure of all these amazing people doing such amazing things that it's hard not to get wrapped up in that.
Wow, there's so many people. I work with just some amazing mentors and colleagues, both at the DFCM and also at Sunnybrook, where I do most of my clinical work.
Amazing mentors over my career. They taught me, they encouraged me to keep going, they set the good example, they opened doors for me, and they really also instilled in me a sense of duty to pay it forward.
My developing academic career has come from a lot of places. I think it's essential to have support from your clinical colleagues. It's hard to imagine developing a academic clinical career without the strong support of the other clinicians you work with.
I've been so fortunate to have 3 terrific chiefs of family medicine at Michael Garron Hospital. I've had outstanding mentors throughout my career. June Carroll epitomizes mentorship. Knowledgeable, connected, supportive, and so kind.
It takes a village to raise a senior professor, and without a doubt, I wouldn't be where I am without the ongoing support and encouragement from my family, my colleagues, and mentors who guide and inspire me to remain curious and to really follow my passion.
Amazing.
Those are really amazing videos and such amazing comments. Truly inspiring.
I think one of the things that for me this whole kind of evening and brings to mind is the privilege that we have as colleagues working together at the DFCM is the ability to pursue our own individual curiosity to learn about what matters most to us. And a lot of the time that's in pursuit of improving the lives of our patients, improving the lives of folks who wouldn't otherwise be thought of or recognized in the eyes of society. And we get to see those things and elevate those questions and elevate those people and those stories and work forward. So I want to take this moment just to congratulate all of the full and associate professors for their amazing contributions and amazing work going forwards. And thank everyone here for all of your work towards the department. And also thank my co-host, Abbas, for being on this journey with me today.
Thanks, Melanie. It's always a pleasure to be to host this event with you, and it was nice to be invited back. This does bring us to the end of this evening. We, as Melanie mentioned, we're grateful that you spent the evening with us to celebrate and to be part of this community of the DFCM together. We are really grateful to everybody here for the work that you did that got you nominated, for all of the people who created the nominations and wrote letters of support and asked other people to put letters of support together, to all of the folks who were on the committees who reviewed these applications and award nominations and made often very difficult decisions to choose between quite amazing award nominations, and all of the speakers this evening who made this evening the special event that it was. Community is really at the heart of the DFCM, and events like this are really a chance for us to come together and celebrate that sense of community that we really strive to build. I want to especially thank Alison Merbaum. Alison, thank you. She's as you know, our faculty development lead for organizing such a wonderful event this evening. And there are many other people who've worked really hard behind the scenes to make this evening possible and to make us shine. So Megan Chow, who is the awards administrator, who's been working on this all year. Ashlyn DeRoche, who is our communications assistant. Olivia Neal, our education technologist, and Amy Noyes, the senior communications strategist with our group. Thank you, everybody, for joining us this evening. Congratulations to all of the award winners. Take the time to bask in the glory for a few days, and then it's time to write some nomination awards for some other fabulous people who you work with. Have a lovely evening. Thank you for joining us again. Thanks, Melanie.
Have a good